Compulsive hoarding can be defined as a persistent difficulty discarding or parting with possessions because of a perceived need to save them. That might be what you believe the person behind this recording is suffering from. Though he is by merit, it is not an actual condition that afflicts him. That and a few other eccentricities only furthers the mystery of Masaokis, a YouTube channel established June 18, 2008, run by a man with a French-Canadian accent, with videos taking place in Italy, Japan, and Canada. But the most popular by far took place in his rundown apartment, with his first viral video being cooking hot dogs and peaches, where he attempts to cook a hot dog in various different ways. First by burning it with a lighter while balancing it over a blender, then over candle flame while burning it with a receipt he had picked up from a pile of trash next to him. He then attempts to clean the hot dog while running water over it, then rubbing it against a bar of soap. And well, for the rest, it's best just to show you.
With a drink. Okay, now there's a little fire. Okay, I'm gonna take care of this. Whoops, that was the wrong one. Okay, I turned the wrong number in there. Wait a minute. Okay, I gotta take care of this. Okay, so well, we still have the sausage and peach juice here, which can make a good drink. I don't know if I can taste this. I don't know if it's gonna be. Oh, fuck! What a smell! Okay, we're gonna forget about the. Yeah, man.
As you can see from the video, he uses his toilet for disposal, keeps his kitchen utensils on the bathroom sink where he also gets his water from, as his kitchen sink is seemingly inaccessible due to all the clutter being on the floor. It was these kinds of videos that would catch the attention of the Something Awful forums, a comedy website that houses a variety of content that now included links to videos of Masaokis, where viewers would be enthralled by his bizarre personality. As throughout his videos, his rapid panting and impromptu thought process, accompanied by his rambles of random topics such as communism, only fanned the flames of his viewers' curiosity. As while watching a Masaokis video, you notice that he lacked a sort of common sense and or inability to think about his current or future actions. Take for example when he whisks eggshells as the recipe called for egg whites, as he thought the white eggshells is what the recipe was asking for. This particular clip is taken from a video titled Omelette for Obama, which, believe it or not, would have far more questionable acts, such as his reaction to when this pan full of oil catches on fire. Instead of immediately covering it to suffocate the fire, he places it on the floor, pauses for a moment, then turns off the TV, where he then proceeds to pick the pan up again and extinguishes the fire with snow. But this is still only the tip of the iceberg, with viewers quickly noting his love for Sambuca, an Italian liquor bottled at a minimum 38% alcohol by volume, which he would regularly substitute in place of water or milk when cooking. Another interesting quirk was that through the rambling of his videos, as although he is Canadian, he seemed far more interested in American politics than those of his own country, which he would mention frequently in his short stories that would be posted to his website. And after reading all four, I'd like to take a few excerpts from them and read them to you out of context. The first one's from the short story Scary People Looking at Me. Peeking in your sister's room again? Bad boy. I jumped. It's my dad's voice. Oh gee, I got caught again. At least my sister's got her clothes on this time. The second one is from The Wrath of God. You must have gay sex with as many voters as you can. My smoke alone is not enough to defeat Scalia's. I hand half the Quran to my sister as we get naked. Go to where the smoke is bluer first. We're less likely to get rejected by the voters there. As the sex intensifies, the Republican and Democrat smokes grow larger and denser, colliding in an eerie violet light. And the last quote is taken from Dances with Democrats. It's this way, one of the men says, opening the door to a large Oval Office. President Obama looks up from the stack of papers on his desk and glares at me and the girl. What's going on? The president asks me. Why haven't you had sex with your sister yet? As you and many of his viewers may have noticed, these stories have an incestuous undertone. But in later videos, he would state that these stories were written purely for entertainment value and would not be references to his personal life. though the heavy involvement of Sambuca and occasional reference to isolation, both relating to his personal life, would lead to skepticism about the statements he made. That was not the only thing put to question, with many asking, who is this man? Why was his apartment so messy, and what were his intentions with these videos? But the one question echoed throughout all the forums was whether he was some kind of clever comedian or troll that was doing this all for YouTube fame, or if that was how he legitimately acted when the cameras were off. And with the building tension, he would address this in a 3-part series titled The Truth About Masao.
Because there have been some questions that have been asked, and people send me questions in private messages or posting on message boards. And one thing that people seem to be asking is, is this real? I don't know myself if all this is real. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. I'm always different. There's no real me. There's no normal me. I am completely different depending on who I'm talking to, depending on who I'm interacting with, And that's because I don't feel like there's anything really natural about me. I mean, I'm able to think. I'm able to make deep reflections. For example, I was able to get a law degree, which, most people would say that that's something difficult.
This would give us snippets of key information, such as how he'd obtained a law degree and was relatively wealthy, and that the fires he would cause, along with his strange recipes, was not the result of stupidity, but instead he lacks a sort of common sense, and develops through learned behavior or trial and error. So it was fairly understood that amongst his community that although he is strange, Masao is an intelligent person. This is exemplified in his ramblings and how he tries to show his viewers his perspective of the world. Not only that, but how he's able to preserve his anonymity throughout his videos. Though it would be later discovered, as he has a few videos where he drives around a city, that he lives in Montreal. He also does not exhibit typical hoarder behavior, as unlike most hoarders, he understands that the squalor that he lives in is not sanitary, and would reference other houses, suggesting that the apartment that he typically filmed videos at was a throwaway apartment. That would lead to fans speculating that this apartment's main purpose was used as a place to stay when he got drunk, and not one he would have to maintain. As for Masao's take on all of this, he did not understand his viewers' infatuation with him. In his eyes, he was making simple tutorial videos that were just meant to help out normal people. But as we know, people would not watch these videos for the informative aspect, but instead because of the curiosity that was built around him. Whether it was his uncanny popularity, or a viewer that had leaked these videos to local authorities requiring Masao to renovate his dilapidated apartment, would lead him to delete his YouTube channel, Masaokis, and subsequently all the videos on there. But there was a bastion of hope, as YouTube user Parthenocarpi SA, with permission of Masao, would re-upload a large portion of his videos. Masao would then go on to make his second and current channel, Masao HF, the HF standing for the HF Boards hockey forums that Masao occasionally frequents. And as of the recording of this video, he has posted an estimated 11,000 messages. A few forumites would dig up his most prominent posts. This comment by B. Ben Nova quoting one of those posts will be found on a thread on our Cringe, discussing the hot dogs and peaches video would give us some insight to his development. I don't really have a sense of humor. In my life there were times when I tried to be funny, but it never worked. Yet I've had a strange childhood and a messed up family life, which made me a bit isolated from the world and a bit eccentric. Because of that, the more I try to be myself, the more everyone makes fun of me. My friends and in-laws and whatever somehow find me so funny that at some points they made a song about me. The weird posts I made on this site are sort of an experiment. When I write something about myself, the more honest I am, the more people find it funny. I don't know if I should be depressed about it or what, but whatever. It tells me that I'm one big eccentric loser unable to fit in, which makes me sad. But at the same time, it tells me that some people find me interesting, so I'm not sure what to think. But whatever, life is life. And to understand him a bit better, I got the pleasure of interviewing Parthenocarpi SA, who will give us more information on Masao and his origins.
Again, I would hesitate to say that any of it's fake. I think he's really digging in deep within himself to put out what he's put out, whether it's a short story, whether it's a video. This is stuff that comes from within for sure. So I recall him saying that he and I think he said a sister. Oh yeah, sister. That they pretty much raised themselves, and that's not surprising at all. He had it. It sounds like it was just neglect, though. I don't think it was like an abusive upbringing, but he's also quite wealthy too. Like there's a point where he talks about, and this is on his newer channel, I believe. He talks about getting a call from a bank. He had $15,000 in that account just sitting there, and it was something that he had just simply forgotten about. So we know that he has at least 2 and possibly 3 places, and we've inferred that just based on the different kitchens that we've seen in videos. The main one that you see, the yellow kitchen, we can call it. There's a blue kitchen. What's interesting about these 2 kitchens, they have the same tiles. So he's done construction work on both of these, both of these places that he's lived in. This DIY construction tiling, and then you see that even though you might have one spot where he's just doing so-called drunken binges, there's still traces of similar activity at both places where he's, say, doing construction work or even still getting absolutely blasted on sedatives.
I recently learned that he is actually, well, I'm not sure if he is at this moment, but at least in 2016, he's married.
The worst of the worst videos were done during those off periods where the wife is gone. But yeah, as far as I know, there was never a divorce. They simply separated, and it sounds like it's happened a number of times, this separation and reunification. We don't really know the frequency of which these 2 people are in and out of each other's lives. So we are still seeing people have that discovery phase where they are getting their first glimpse or introducing somebody to this man, and there's still interest.
As for where Masao is now, with his most recent video posted nearly over 2 years ago, we would see that not only has he improved his recipes, but he has also improved his living situation. Whether the man is truly a clever troll or is genuine with all his actions, one thing stands clear. And that is, unlike most other internet oddities, his fans don't watch him to see him fail or embarrass himself, but mostly in the unintentional messages that he emits through his videos. And that is, in the effort to understand his thought process, we realize that even with so many people critiquing him and trying to deconstruct his personality, he takes a sort of underdog figure, as he manages to find success and remain genuine in a world that he does not understand, nor understands him. No matter how strange or an outcast you are, you can find success in this world, as we have learned from the story of Masaokis.